Ibrahim Traore, the president of Burkina Faso, has finally met with the AU leaders. Remember that Burkina Faso was banned to be member of the AU in the year 2015, the time that Blaise Compaoré was the president and he took the government through a coup. That is the time that it was banned. And the time that the president was Paul Henry Damiba, who also took the government through a coup. That is the time that also it was banned being a member of the AU. And there is something that is shocking everyone. The AU leaders have finally come up and they have met with Ibrahim Traore in Burkina Faso today. What are they discussing? This is the true event on whatever that the AU leaders and the president of Burkina Faso were discussing. And the reason why Ibrahim Traore decided to agree to this dialogue with the AU leaders. And there is also something that has just happened. Russia have decided to send a strong warning to Nigeria. Nigeria has been against Burkina Faso. Even the terrorists that are also in Burkina Faso, most of them are coming from Nigeria. That is the time that they got a lot of warning from Russia. Putin has said that Russia that have told Nigeria to stop meddling in Burkina Faso's issue. We know very well that Nigeria have been working with the West. After this strong warning, what is currently happening? And there's also something that has just happened. These are the leaders of the AU that went to Burkina Faso to meet Ibrahim Traore. Joao Lourenco, the president of Angola, he has been the first in forefront to mediate peace dialogue in Burkina Faso. He has been the one that has been saying that Burkina Faso need to be given a chance to be member of the AU. It's something that is shocking everyone in Africa, that the reason why Burkina Faso have finally decided to agree to this dialogue with these AU leaders. And during the terrorist attack, Joao Lourenco, the president of AU, was the first in forefront coming in, saying that all the people that are attacking Traore should leave and should focus with their own life. Why are they meddling in someone's country? And yet the Burkinabés really love whatever that is doing to them. So everyone should stop meddling in Burkina Faso's affair. And there is also something that is trending in the world of internet. Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, have come in and said that he's supporting Ibrahim Traore in whatever that he's doing. This is after years he was humiliated. He was humiliated in the Western country and told something that he didn't like. Right now he has come in and said that Africans need to be united and Africans need to work together. This is what we have been always championing for. These are the headlines and whatever that I'm going to tell you. The countries that were involved in this dialogue in the AU with Ibrahim Traore, and also the situation in Burkina Faso concerning the terrorist attack. Are the terrorists still attacking innocent Burkinabés, or what is currently happening in Burkina Faso? Remember that last time I told you that terrorists were mostly in Benfora and Kaya. Right now, where are these terrorists? Has any terrorist attack happened in Burkina Faso, in Jimbo? What is the current situation in Jimbo? Join us as we are going to discuss the current situation in Africa and whatever that is currently happening in Africa. Hello guys, welcome once again into our today's episode where we talk about African issue. As we always say, we are Africans and Africa is our business. We try our best to bring you African news and educate the society on whatever that is happening in Africa. As you always know, our main agenda is to maintain peace, unity, and love. We should love one another as Africans and work as Africans so that Africa can be the best continent in the whole world. You have seen how the West have been united. If we Africans are going to be united, we are going to go far and far. This is the time that Africans need to be united. The unity have been brought about by the president of Burkina Faso, Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore has brought hope in so many youth. There are so many youths that had given up in life. But after Ibrahim Traore was the president of Burkina Faso and the work that he has been doing, so many youths are right now courageous and they really love whatever that is doing. Remember that in the year 2015, Burkina Faso was removed as members of the AU by that president that time. time. But right now, it is shocking to see that the AU leaders send their representative to go and talk with Ibrahim Traore so that they can solve their dispute. And they want Burkina Faso to be back in the AU category. This is something that is shocking the whole world. During the election, Burkina Faso, the countries that are not part of the AU currently, and remember that they were not allowed to vote, even though the president of Burkina Faso said that if he was going to vote, he was not going to vote for the candidate here in Kenya, which was Raila Amolo Odinga, which was elected by the president of the Republic of Kenya, William Kipchirchir Ruto. Ibrahim Traore has been first in forefront, condemning the bad thing that leaders are usually doing to innocent Africans. This is a president that has been working hand in hand to make sure that Africans are united and Africans are highly respected. Right now, seeing that the AU leaders going to Burkina Faso having a tangible dialogue with Ibrahim Traore, something that happened on Thursday, has shocked the whole world. This is something that people didn't expect. What is the plan that Joao Lourenço, as the president of AU, has towards Ibrahim Traore? Because he has been working hand in hand to make sure that there is peace, unity, and love towards Africa. Joao Lourenço was the first president that has been coming in and say that if Africans are united, they are going to move forward as a family, and the whole continent are going to respect Africa. It was started by Ibrahim Traore. The time that Traore took power, so many head of state didn't believe in him. So many head of state didn't believe that this thing can happen, because he was a president that took the government through a coup. But the work that he has done in Burkina Faso is really amazing. He is the first African youth president, only 37 years, to have brought a free education in Burkina Faso, something that is a very, very nice thing in Africa. So most of Africans are emulating Ibrahim Traore. These are heads of state that went in Burkina Faso for a peace dialogue. AU, remember that this head of state that I'm going to talk about, these are members of the AU, and something that has shocked the whole world. Even the president of AU, who is Joao Lourenço, the president of Angola, was there to represent Africa, saying that the first country is Angola, which is headed by Joao Lourenço. The second country is Botswana, which is headed by Gideon Boko. The third country is Cape Verde. The other country is Gabon. The other country is Ethiopia. The other country is Benin. They sent their representative as members of the AU to go and have a tangible dialogue with Ibrahim Traore, so that they can see that if Ibrahim Traore could agree to be part of the AU seat. He hasn't given them a tangible feedback. He has said that they should give him time to talk about it. The question is that why did these leaders went to approach Mali and Niger? Why are they disputing Mali and Niger? And if Ibrahim Traore decide to join the AU, what next for Mali and Niger? Because they are also being headed by junta. The president of Mali, Assimi Goïta, has come out and said that the AU cannot help you. The AU are just there to benefit on their own things. They can do without AU. Right now, there is fight in DRC. Felix Tshisekedi is really fighting the M23 rebel. Right now there is fight in Sudan, where there is Riek Machar and Salva Kiir. They are really fighting. There is no one that is coming in to support them. Why are these leaders coming in, want to associate themselves with Ibrahim Traore, the time that they are seeing that Traore is really doing an amazing work in Burkina Faso? They are selfish, and they are people that are working for their own self-interest. That is the president of Mali, Assimi Goïta, that came out. So what is really going to happen if Ibrahim Traore agrees to come back to the AU? What is really going to happen? Will Mali and Niger still work with him, or what is really going to happen? Because I think that Traore tell them that they should give him time to think about it if he's going to be man and be back in the AU seat unity. What is really going to happen? That is the story that is in the internet. There is also something that is evolving around the world in Burkina Faso. The president of Russia, who is Putin, has come out and warned Nigeria to stay away from Burkina Faso. There's been a lot of situation. Remember that the weapon that were found on Wednesday, most of them, after investigation, it was found that they were coming from Nigeria. Right now, the president of Russia, Putin, has come out and warned the president of Nigeria, who is Tinubu, to stay away from Burkina Faso and they should leave them alone. Why are they allowing themselves to be used by the West so that they can bring their own African leader down? Something that doesn't make sense, something that they are not going to tolerate. They are not going to sit down and see Ibrahim Traore going down. That is the word of Putin. Right now, Putin is still helping Iran to fight Israel, and the West are still helping Israel to fight Iran. So fight between Iran and Israel is still going on, and most of our countries have taken side on who they are supporting. Traore came out and said that he's supporting Russia in that peace, in that fight that is happening between Israel and Iran. There's also something that has just happened in Burkina Faso about the terrorist attack. Right now, there's a lot of terrorists that were arrested yesterday. Almost 34 terrorists were arrested in a serious gun battle in Jimbo. There were no Burkina-based military that lost their life. Ibrahim Traoré is really trying so hard to make sure that there is peace in Africa. The main agenda is to make sure that Africans are united. What next if Traore decide to join the AU after being approached by these AU leaders? What is really going to happen? That is a question that so many people are wondering. Will Ibrahim Traore forget his own people? And this is the time that he should act with a lot of wisdom. He should remember that so many Africans are behind him, and the time that he enters back to the AU, that is African Union, there are so many people that they are not going to support him and he's going to stand alone. He has been doing better without the AU, without the ECOWAS, without the COMESA, doing an amazing work. What next if he decide to go back to the AU? What is really going to happen? Because most of the West are using African head of state to make sure that Traore is down. Is this the main time that they are going to use it to bring Traore down, or what is really going to happen? As you know very well that this president that went to have dialogue with Ibrahim Traore are the one that have been coming out and saying that right now they are supporting whatever that Traore is doing in Burkina Faso. If he really joined them, what next for Mali and Niger? Will they also join the AU? And why did these AU leaders went to meet Mali and Niger? Why Traore? That is a question that so many people are asking themselves. Is this a method that they are trying to use to make sure that Traore is down? That is whatever that is trending in the world of internet concerning Africa. As we always say, we are Africans and Africa is our business. Our main agenda is to make sure that Africans are united and Africans are working as a team. If you see your fellow African down, you just have to support him as your brother, as your sister. If you work together as Africans, Africa is going to be the best continent in the whole world. This is what we have been talking about. Our main agenda is to make sure that the African unity stay intact. That is what we will always be talking about. That is what we'll always keep on doing. Africa and Africa. As we always say, we are Africans and Africa is our business. Until next time, we always say game over.